Welcome back to Old Charles, the channel where we uncover the hidden stories and surprising values of coins from around the world. Today, we're taking a closer look at the United Kingdom 1 penny coin from 2017. You might think it's just a small copper coin you see every day in your change, but believe me, it has a fascinating history, unique details, and some examples are worth more than face value depending on their condition and rarity. So let's dive deep. The British 1 penny coin is part of the decimal currency system introduced in 1971, replacing the old pre-decimal pennies. The 2017 penny is one of the more modern issues, but it still carries a rich heritage. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Jody Clark. This is the fifth definitive portrait of the Queen, and it's been in use since 2015. You can clearly see her wearing the George IV state diadem crown, an iconic design element. Around the portrait, the inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD. Along with the year 2017, on the reverse side, we have the famous design by Matthew Dent, part of the Royal Shield of Arms design that was introduced in 2008. The 1p coin shows just a segment of the shield, and when placed alongside other UK coins of different denominations, the full shield comes together like a puzzle. This was a brilliant idea that modernized UK coinage while keeping it tied to tradition. The metal composition of the 2017 penny is copper-plated steel, weighing 3.56 grams, with a diameter of 20.3 millimeters. The Royal Mint struck millions of these coins for circulation, so they are common in everyday use, but their value depends heavily on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Meaning the coins you find in your pocket change, the 2017 1 penny is generally worth its face value of 1p, which is equal to about 0.01 British pounds, or if the coin is still in brilliant uncirculated mint sets, collectors may pay anywhere from £1 to £3 depending on the quality and demand. If the coin is graded by a professional service and is in mint state condition, MS65 or higher, the value could go higher, sometimes £5 or more, especially for perfectly struck examples with no blemishes. Of the 2017 penny, struck with a high-quality mirror finish and often sold in proof sets by the Royal Mint, are much more valuable. These can be worth £5 to £10 or higher, depending on market trends. While most 2017 pennies are common, the condition makes all the difference. A shiny, flawless coin straight from a set or carefully preserved in a collection will always fetch more than a worn coin from circulation. Condition is key when it comes to the value of the 2017 penny. Scratched, discolored, or heavily worn examples are only worth 1p. Light circulation wear, still collectible but only slightly above face value. Minimal wear, detail sharp, may fetch around £1 to £2. Bright, no marks, the kind collectors love, values increase to £3, £5 or more, specially made for collectors, with sharp details and mirror-like finish, usually worth the most. Collectors often look for unusual varieties, such as minting errors, misstrikes, or off-center strikes. If you find a 2017 penny with such an error, it could be worth many times face value, depending on the rarity of the error. Even though millions were minted, the 2017 penny represents the later years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign and uses the latest portrait, making it historically significant. After the Queen's passing in 2022, coins featuring her portrait have become more collectible, and over time their value will likely rise as collectors look to preserve these pieces of history. It's also part of the Royal Shield series, which itself has become popular among collectors who want to complete the full shield design across all denominations. The 2017 United Kingdom 1 penny coin may not make you rich overnight, but it's an important coin to hold on to, especially if you have an uncirculated or proof example. As time passes, coins like these become little snapshots of history, and collectors around the world value them more and more. You have a 2017 penny in your collection? Check its condition. You might just be holding on to a coin worth more than you think. We're going to talk about the United Kingdom 1 penny coin from 2017. At first glance, it looks like just another small coin, but this little piece of copper-plated steel actually carries with it centuries of fascinating history. From the very first British pennies introduced over 1,000 years ago to the modern design we see today, the story of the penny is like a mirror of the United Kingdom's own history. So let's take a long journey back in time, and then come back to the present with the 2017 penny. The story of the penny in Britain goes back more than 200 years. The very first pennies were introduced in the late 8th century during the reign of King Offa of Mercia, around the year 785 AD. These early pennies were made of silver and were the main unit of currency for centuries. In fact, the word penny comes from the Old English word penning, and it influenced many European currencies, such as the German Pfennig and the Scandinavian, or during the Middle Ages, the silver penny dominated English trade. Back then, larger coins like shillings or pounds didn't exist as physical coins. Instead, they were used as units of account. For example, 12 pennies made a shilling, and 20 shillings made a pound. The penny was literally the foundation of England's entire monetary system. As time passed, the composition of the penny changed. By the 13th and 14th centuries, pennies often became lighter as kings tried to stretch the kingdom's silver supply. By the Tudor era in the 1500s, under Henry VII and Henry VIII, coins began to be debased, meaning less silver was used, and eventually, other metals like copper started to appear. Fast forward to the 17th and 18th centuries, and copper pennies were introduced for everyday use because silver had become too valuable for such a small denomination. By 1797, under King George III, the Royal Mint issued the famous cartwheel penny, a huge copper coin weighing 28 grams and more than 36 millimeters in diameter. These were the heaviest pennies ever produced in Britain and are still popular with collectors today. The penny continued to evolve throughout the 19th century. Under Queen Victoria, 1837 to 1901, the penny became smaller, neater, and featured the famous image of Britannia on the reverse, a symbol of Britain's naval power and empire. These Victorian pennies are still highly collectible. By the 20th century, pennies had become a standard part of daily life. Under George V and George VI, bronze pennies continued circulation with the iconic Britannia design. However, everything changed in 1971, when Britain officially switched from the old pre-decimal system to the new decimal currency system ***. Before decimalization, there were 240 pennies in 1 pound. After decimalization, the system became much simpler. 100 new pence made 1 pound. The new decimal 1 penny coin, 1p, was introduced on February 15, 1971, known as Decimal Day. From 1971 until 2008, the reverse design of the 1p coin showed a crowned portcullis, a design by Christopher Ironside, which was actually based on the badge of the Palace of Westminster. Then, in 2008, the Royal Mint changed the entire look of UK coins with Matthew Dent's famous Royal Shield design. Each denomination from 1p to 50p featured a part of the Royal Shield, and when placed together, they formed the complete shield of arms. This modern redesign gave British coins a new identity while still rooted in centuries of heraldry. This brings us to the 2017 1 penny coin. It continues the Royal Shield design on the reverse by Matthew Dent and carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, designed by Jody Clark. This portrait, introduced in 2015, was the fifth and final official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II used on UK coinage during her reign. The Queen is shown wearing the George IV state diadem, the crown traditionally worn during the state opening of Parliament. What makes the 2017 penny particularly significant in history is that it belongs to the last few years of Queen Elizabeth II's coinage. After her passing in 2022, coins bearing her image instantly became historically important as they represent the end of the longest reign in British history. Eventually, King Charles III's portrait began to replace hers on new coins, which makes all coins like the 2017 penny a valuable reminder of an era that lasted more than 70 years. When it comes to coin collecting, one of the most important factors, sometimes even more important than rarity, is the condition of the coin. Collectors use condition to determine not just how nice a coin looks, but also how much value it can command in the market. For the 2017 United Kingdom 1 penny coin, condition plays a huge role because millions were minted, so only the higher quality pieces stand out. Let's break this down carefully. Most 2017 pennies you'll find today are in circulation. That means they've been passed from hand to hand, used in shops, maybe tossed in a drawer, or kept in a jar of spare change. Coins like this usually have scratches, dull surfaces, nicks, and discoloration from everyday use. In this grade, the coin is still circulated, but the details are sharper. The Queen's portrait is clear, the lettering is easy to read, and the Royal Shield design on the reverse still shows definition. The coin might have some small scratches, but overall it looks decent. Now we're talking about coins that were circulated very lightly or may have been kept aside early on. These coins have very minimal wear, sharp details, and a little bit of luster, the shine from the original minting process, still visible. Uncirculated means the coin was never used in daily transactions. It might have come directly from a royal mint bag or set, and it shows no signs of wear. The surfaces are still bright, the details sharp, and the luster is intact. This is one step above regular uncirculated. These coins are specially struck by the Royal Mint with extra care. They are shinier, cleaner, and often sold in sealed packs for collectors. These coins are highly desirable because they look stunning compared to circulated coins. They can fetch anywhere from £3 to £6 or more, depending on the presentation pack or mint set they came from. Proof coins are the highest quality coins the Royal Mint produces. They are struck using polished dies on specially prepared blanks, often multiple times, to give them a mirror-like finish with frosted details. Proof versions of the 2017 penny were issued as part of collectors' proof sets, not for circulation. Proof coins are usually worth £5 to £10 or higher, depending on the packaging and whether they are still in their original Royal Mint cases. Collectors love proof coins because they represent the finest example of the design and are much rarer than normal circulation strikes. For serious collectors, coins can be sent to grading companies such as NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, or PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. These companies grade coins on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS60 is uncirculated but may have small marks. A coin graded MS65 or MS66 is of much higher quality, with strong eye appeal and fewer marks. A perfect coin graded MS70 is flawless, with no visible imperfections under 5x magnification. For a modern coin like the 2017 penny, an MS70 graded coin could sell £4, £10, 20 or more, because collectors pay for perfection. Since the 2017 penny was minted in the tens of millions, rarity isn't the main factor in value. Condition is ***. Almost everyone can find a circulated 2017 penny, but finding one in pristine, flawless condition is much harder. That's why collectors focus on coins that are uncirculated, brilliant uncirculated, or proof. This is also why many collectors buy coins directly from the Royal Mint in presentation packs or annual sets. These coins are guaranteed to be in top condition, making them much more attractive in the long run. If you compare the 2017 penny to older issues, such as Victorian or George V pennies, the rules of condition still apply, but scarcity adds another layer. For example, a heavily worn Victorian penny may still be valuable because it's over 100 years old. A heavily worn 2017 penny, however, is usually only face value, since millions are still around. This shows why condition matters more for modern coins than for historic ones. Looking ahead, coins like the 2017 penny will become more collectible over time because, 1. It features the final portrait of Queen Elizabeth II before King Charles III. Coins were introduced. 2. Proof and uncirculated examples will remain scarce as most 2017 pennies continue to wear out in circulation. 3. In 20 or 30 years, people who grew up with these coins may want them in perfect condition for nostalgia, driving demand. So, if you have a 2017 penny in mint state, brilliant uncirculated, or proof condition, ***, hold on to it. ***, its value will likely rise with time.